Hi, my name is Felix, and maybe you have a lot of different interests, but you can't seem to make any money from them. And you end up working some random job, and on the side, you're trying to build a life around those interests and actually your passions. But you don't believe that those things go well together and that you actually can make money while building a life that is enriching to you and where you have a lot of different interests and passions that you're nourishing and that you're building. And in this video, I'm going to share exactly what belief is stopping you from actually doing this and building a life that is fulfilling and successful, and what to do instead and how to overcome this specifically. So the main problem I see is that people with a lot of different interests, they pretty much stand before one big decision. The first decision is to actually decide if they want to make a lot of different money. And when they do want to decide to do this, they believe they have to work in corporate, they have to just slave away their years for some guy or some company to make money, they have to work in an office, they have to do all these different things, and they pretty much just have to focus on making money. And in turn, they believe that their life will be unfulfilling, it's draining, you're just slaving away, you're just working 80 hours a week for nothing, and it's meaningless. But you're making money. That's the one side. On the other side, they believe if they don't work at all, or at least very little, or they just do a little bit, or they work like a few hours and stuff like this, they're able to then have a lot of different hobbies, they feel fulfilled, they have a lot of different relationships, they can really go after the things that they love and have all these different interests they're after and all these different things. And the main problem here is that people with a lot of different interests, they believe that this is a decision. I can either make money and have an income and be rich and make money and be able to afford myself some luxuries and travel and do whatever you want to buy with money. It's up to you. Or you can have a life that is enriching, where you have a lot of different hobbies, that's fulfilling, where you're creating something that's aligning, whatever it is, whatever adjectives you use. And because you believe that you have to decide, what actually ends up happening more often than not is that people don't decide at all and they stay stuck. And years pass, they waste their lives trying to decide if they actually want to make money or if they want to have a life of passions and hobbies and stuff like this. And because they are not deciding, they don't achieve anything. They're not making any money, nor do they actually build a life of hobbies and passions and stuff like this. But the main problem is not that you make money or if you don't make money and stuff like this. The main problem is that you believe that you have to decide and that you can only do one thing and that they don't work well together. That there's kind of like this invisible wall, like an electric fence, that if you go here, like there's no chance for you to go over there. And if you decide to actually go over here, you can't go back, okay? But you can only be in one side. And this is the main flaw in thinking that a lot of people with many different interests have. Because the truth is actually different. We don't live in times anymore where you have to slave in a factory or something. Maybe you do, but I don't believe you do, because we have the internet, we have AI, we have so many different opportunities where you are actually able to build a business and a lifestyle business that is not slaving you or making you slave your life away, only if you choose to do this. Because the main thing, and this is what I strongly believe when I started my business. So in the beginning stages, I wasn't here, but I realized, okay, I want to live a life where I have a lot of different interests. And for example, I'm able to do all these different random things that I'm interested in. I want to be like really good at photography. Then I want to travel the world. I want to learn how to make the best sushi rice. I want to work on a boat, on a sailing yacht, and then travel and be the whatever it's called, like the guy that does the sailing work. I want to, live in the rainforest and help the animals there, like all these different things, like the interests and where I feel if I'm on my deathbed, like this is an enriching life. But I also wanted to make money because I know money gives you freedom and it allows you to actually do a lot of these different things. And what I realized early on, and what I believe is the actual thing to do, is if you don't see it as a waypoint, but you see it actually as a milestone. It's more like this, okay? So the first milestone is you being here. And you realize, well, maybe you have $0 in your bank account, you have no real income, you have a job that you don't like, or maybe you have an income, but maybe you have a job that you don't like and stuff like this, okay? The next step is to actually get your financials straight, at least a little bit. And in my way, or what I did, I built a agency which allowed me to, first of all, work freely wherever I want, whenever I wanted. I still had to work, but I was able to decide where and when I wanted to work. That's already giving you some freedom, and this is good. But what you want to have is the main state of making money, okay, this, while also working not all the hours. So you want to have time. That's the goal. Because once you have these two things, this is a clock, by the way. Once you have these two things, then this will allow you to fuel all these interests and these hobbies that you have. So it's a milestone, not a waypoint. It's a very different distinction, but it's so important. Because once you have the time, let's say you work only 2 to 4 hours a day or 4 hours a day. You do 4 hours of deep work every single day. And you're able to generate 5K a month, 10K a month, even 20K a month, okay? Doable, very doable. And it can be through a job, it can be through a business, it can be through those two things mainly. Either a job or a business. And I'm not saying you have to build a business or do anything. You can also get a job where you're able to be more productive, you get the stuff more done, and you're able to do this in the same time. For example, if you get a remote job as a coder or something, or a graphic designer or whatnot, there's so many different options. You'll find something if you just look up on YouTube for the best business models or best jobs or whatever. And then you're able to earn the money and you have the time freedom. And this is the ultimate dream, I believe, for multi-potentialite or someone with a lot of different interests. At least it's for me, because then I'm able to fuel all these interests. I can say, I'm gonna go to Tokyo for the next 3 months and I'll just work in a sushi restaurant to learn how to make the best sushi in the world. And I know it's not gonna be 3 months. It's not my ikigai, but I wanna learn the basics of it. I could do this. I could potentially do this if I want to. Okay, my light's killed. But we'll keep this going. And that's the beauty of it, because I can do this. I'm able to actually have an income that gives me this freedom that I really, really value. And on the other side, it also allows me to live out all these hobbies and these interests. And that's the key. That's absolutely the key. Because the more, you don't want to just focus on the money, because if you just focus on making more money, you also want to focus on freeing yourself and making money while also automating and also working less, okay? But you also have to understand that in the beginning, in order to make this happen, to get to a point where you make like 5 to 10K per month and you get work like only 4 hours a day, you have to work for a while, a little bit more, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe 12 months, depending on where you are. But once you are at that level, you can start to focus on decreasing your time spent there. You can automate more, you can hire a few freelancers doing stuff for you, all these different things. And then you're able to generate like 5K, 10K, or you have this job where you're really good and you get paid the same amount. And you're able to then free up the time for your interest. You can start making music production, you can start traveling, you can start photography or gardening, whatever it is. And since you have the money and the time, you can easily start up these things and you can accelerate them so much. Because, for example, if I get in my mind that I want to learn the guitar and I have the money and the time, then I can just get the best coach that I can find online. I can get the best training program. I can buy myself a sick guitar and I can practice every day for 2 hours. Like, how long do you think it will take me until I'm really good at doing this thing? Not too long, because I have the resources to do so. But the thing is, if you decide to do this, then you can only do your hobbies. But since you don't really have any money and you can't really invest in this. It takes you forever to actually do this, and you can't realize most of these dreams because all the stuff you want to do for fun, they still cost money. They still cost money. Like if you want to get into gardening, you still have to pay for your garden. Like gardening ain't free. If you want to learn how to make sushi, you still have to, okay, you can work in a restaurant and get paid for this. That's cool. But if you want to learn an instrument, you still have to get the equipment. You still have to get a good coach. You still have to learn. You have to do all these different things anyway. And you need money for this. But if you're here, then obviously I can understand that you feel unfulfilled and you feel stuck and your life doesn't feel cool because you're just slaving away just for money, which again isn't the goal. You want to have both. But sometimes you have to first start making the money here, build this up, and then focus on decreasing your time. And then once you do this, you can go towards this and actually have this perfect dream. And if you like these kinds of videos, I have a lot more on my channel. So number one, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any uploads. And I upload very consistently. And I go deeper on all these different topics. I go much more deeper on different ideas that will help you to actually build this life that I just outlined. Okay. And second of all, if you just go to my channel right now, you can see a lot of different videos on these topics. Just go ahead, watch my best videos, take more stuff into this account so you can go deeper on these ideas, you can really understand them, and then you can go and apply them. Okay, it's very important. And third, like this video as well. That will really help me. Okay, and I'll see you then in the next one.